crowdfunded handheld gadgets pop up all the time, and most of them never quite live up to the hype. But this one actually feels different. The Mecha Comet is a new open, modular Linux handheld from Mecha Systems, and from the very beginning, it was designed with customization and tinkering in mind. Instead of trying to be everything for everyone, it's clearly aiming at people who love to make their devices their own. At first glance, it looks a lot like a chunky little smartphone. It's compact, fits nicely in the hand, and weighs about as much as you'd expect for something this solid. On the front, you get a 3.92-inch AMOLED display with a sharp 1080 by 1240 resolution and up to 550 nits of brightness, which means you can actually see it outdoors without squinting. Up top, there's an 8-megapixel camera, microphones, a speaker, and even a proper 3.5mm headphone jack, which already feels like a win these days. You also get 2 USB-C ports for charging, data, and external displays, along with Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.4, and HDMI support. Powering it all is a 4,100 mAh battery, and this is where things get fun. It's fully replaceable. You can just pop it out and snap in a new one. Inside the device, there's also an M.2 slot, which opens the door to upgrades like a cellular modem, faster storage, an AI accelerator, or even something niche like a LoRaWAN gateway. There's also a 9-axis motion sensor on board to track movement and orientation, which adds even more possibilities for developers. On the performance side, you've got a few options. The base model uses an NXPI.MX 8M Plus quad-core ARM chip paired with 2 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. If you want more power, there's a version with the newer i.MX95 processor, which brings 6 Cortex-A 55 cores for a noticeable boost, though it may use a bit more battery. Higher-end configurations let you push the RAM up to 8 GB and storage up to 128 GB using an SSD. Where the Mecha Comet really stands out is in its modular attachments. These snap onto the device magnetically and can be swapped in seconds. You can add a QWERTY keyboard and trackpad for serious typing, a gamepad with soft press buttons, and a tactile touchpad for gaming, or even a 40-pin GPIO breakout board if you want to dive into hardware hacking. Each attachment is relatively affordable, and getting inside the device itself only requires loosening a single screw. It doesn't stop there either. You can also use compatible Raspberry Pi hats, turning the Comet into all kinds of specialized tools. The case is simple and practical, not flashy, but it's designed to be opened, modified, and reused without a fight, which honestly feels refreshing. On the software side, the device runs Mechanix OS, a custom Fedora Linux distribution built on a modern kernel. It includes a Wayland-based launcher and custom apps written in Rust and Flutter, all optimized for the hardware. If you're into coding or curious how everything works, the source code is available on GitHub. Mecha Systems also plans to release full hardware documentation under an open license after production, and they're promising long-term support with a projected lifespan stretching well into the 2030s. If all of that sounds like your kind of device, the Mecha Comet is currently available as an early bird on Kickstarter, starting at $189, with shipping planned for mid-2026. For anyone who loves Linux, modular hardware, or just the idea of a handheld you can truly make your own, this is one worth keeping an eye on.